from us, or give it a go?
GPS has a track.
All right, guys, mic's on.
And it didn't,
Yeah, I
didn't
got a
match.
notification that was
Excellent, excellent.
Did it is working?
Thank you,
Okay.
Mike. Yes. All right, it is 7:12. I'll call to order the January 14th meeting of the Ware Conservation Commission. I'm Andy Fulton, the chair. To my far left, we've got Mike Camacho, secretary. To my left, Steve Nager, our vice chair. To my right, member Mark Phillips. And we do have present in the audience, but Jack, if you'd like to come up, we've got an empty table. Jack Dearborn, our selectman liaison. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we've got a fairly light agenda. And first up, have a look at the minutes that Secretary Camacho made for us last month on the December 10th meeting. It looked real good, Mike, appreciate that. The only things I saw were down on no items for review. It looks like there's a backslash in there for extra, so it's just to potentially remove that backslash. And then at the end, my notes say that we adjourned at 9:16, so you could adjust that 9:30 to 9:16.
Motion we accept as amended.
Second.
Did you, that's a tiny discussion.
We've got a motion, we've got a second, we can have discussion.
Yeah.
That Mark
I
made the
listened
motion
I
and
listened
Steve
to
seconded.
the Board of Selectmen meeting, and there is some question, I think they're looking for more detail in the minutes on why the Conservation Commission was interested in acquiring the property that abuts Farren Pond. Do we want to put a sentence or two?
The ones
What our
in
interest
the
is, or-
paper subdivision?
Yes.
Well, wouldn't we just further discuss that tonight and put it in tonight's minutes?
Sure, if that's what's gonna happen.
Wait, I think it was brought up by somebody who just asked, why is that important? That was the extent of it.
So just kind of point of order. I mean, minutes, we should just, whatever we actually discussed that meeting is what
Yep.
should be in that minutes, and then if we need to discuss something, bring it back up, right?
Okay, yep.
I think that would abundantly cover it. All right, so Mark's motion, Steve's second. Mike's comments, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's all in favor. And for this month's minutes, for our notes, for hopefully our recording, and hopefully our minute taker can do these for us. That's our understanding, is if we get them recorded, the minute taker can work off the recording or will. But, you know, I've got my notes, and suspect, Mike, you've got your notes in case we need to create the minutes for this meeting. So, for the record, my idea on the paper subdivision is small blocks put together in a setting relatively undisturbed, help create larger blocks which are in settings undisturbed, better habitat, all other things being equal. Therefore, when a parcel of some conservation value comes up that is not inhabited or formerly built upon, it's pretty simple to designate it conservation and with lots of little pieces of the puzzle together, sometimes you end up working or building towards something of larger value, even if the individual parcel, due to size or what have you, is of no great significance. Anything else on that, Steve?
Yeah, I'd like to add to that. So the Farron Pond area has been a conservation focus for as long as I've been on the Conservation Commission. We had a warrant article probably the first year I was on for a couple of those lots in the same general area that were taken by tax. We've had that other road over near Farron, we had a couple fairly substantial lots that were taken for taxes. And so, as Andy said, we're putting that puzzle back together where it's not costing the taxpayers anything. We know that whole area is really highly used because it's got a great Class 6 road network that people use for hiking and biking and that sort of thing. So I think that's really important to understand. I think the second point that was brought up that as I understand it, that I really like to address firmly is that the Ware Conservation Commission has been a 100% supporter of snowmobile access to everything we have. The only parcel that we've ever not had snowmobile access was the Eastman Town Forest, and that was because one of the major funding sources, they had a condition that no motorized access, so that funding came with strings attached. That's not at all the norm for the Conservation Commission. So we went to bat for the Snowmobile Club on that issue over by Duck Pond. I mean, that got like really contentious, not our fault, but we were like super supportive, and we've always been supportive. We would never cut off a snowmobile trail. And we've had members, 3 different members of the Snowmobile Club on the Conservation Commission since I've been here. So that, to me, that was out of left field to even have that concern come up. And I just feel really firmly about that. They've been good partners, and we would never do anything to cut them off.
And that's one of the values of our town forest, one of the values of our town conservation lands. It's more than just logging. Having the ability to traverse the larger tracts, certainly in an organized fashion. That the Snowmobile Club has done a lot, but having those open lands is vital to the experience, and forest lands, conservation lands are open for public enjoyment.
Yeah, I mean, I would take it further than that, even to say that, there was a person who was adamant about shutting down the Class 6 roads out by Farron Pond. I know I personally was against that. I think the commission ended up being against it, because it's people that, have mobility problems. We want them to be able to enjoy the woods too, right? So it's pretty good road access. We, back in the day when there was the Ware ATV Club, we kind of had a test run. They ended up not lasting very long, but we gave them permission on some road network over at Felch. So we've had a really consistent record of working with clubs that, want to access the town forest land.
Yeah, and it might seem like the lands just sit there. Well, this is New England. We're hoping nothing shakes and moves so rapidly that we notice. But it's the people who don't just sit there. The people do get out. Our townsfolk get out on the land and enjoy them for hunting. Town forest, town conservation land, the Conservation Commission and managing the town forest certainly keeps them open for hunting, and last I knew, hunting is not the same as logging, and but they are complementary, or certainly one for the other. So there's a lot that the Conservation Commission's management of the town forest, it's a very active management, does for the town. It's certainly not overwhelming. It's part of our normal duties, and I think it would. I think it speaks well of what condition we're in now, and I'd be glad to discuss that with anybody who would like to. The forests are actually in pretty good condition, and we have active management plans. We have retained a contractor, and yearly we do the work to make sure that we can get that management work done. through exercising the town forest account as approved at town meeting. So there's no deficit there, certainly not an overwhelming situation. And we're, open to discuss management of any of our lands with anybody in town government or out who wants to. So we encourage everybody to enjoy the lands, ask us questions, bring your comments to us. We're very much open for business for the town, and it's a healthy thing to have active managers available to the public managing the town lands.
Yeah, I would say, and we make the effort to have the forester here, pretty much on a quarterly basis to answer questions or do presentations. So I think that's an opportunity for everyone in the town to interact.
Yeah. Maybe, it's those who are in town government are usually pretty busy and got lots of things to look at, but maybe personal invitations and updates to the town manager, the town representatives and our selectmen should be more frequent. We've never been shy, and we're certainly available. Perhaps here at the beginning of the year, we should make plans and share our intentions to speak with the board as it is at the start of 2026. We don't want there to be questions. We don't want there to be lingering issues, doubts, or uncertainty on just what the status is of our work, both on conservation lands and town forest. Everybody's very busy. I don't think anybody wants to expand town government, so who knows? We'll see what the future brings. Any other thoughts from the commission or from our selectman representative on sort of our management understanding of what's being done and how it's being done?
The question started out as the property that you guys were required. I think it's still before the select board. And I go back and give a flat statement what you guys said. The problem is when they ask me a question, I don't have an answer. So maybe the most practical way to do this is have the chairman of the board we want is designate to come to a select board meeting, get on the agenda for that particular purpose.
Do you know whether that requested warrant article is on the draft agenda for?
Which warrant article?
We're talking
Tax
off
property.
of the one on the properties, town-owned properties by tax forfeiture. Would it be helpful to have a commission member at that meeting to speak at the end of the night, presuming that it's on the list and it's somewhere down on the bottom of the list of warrant articles?
I have a list of the financials.
Yeah.
Warrants. I haven't got a list yet. That's actually done Naomi and Beth today. I might be able to get a little bit Friday. Beth's out tomorrow. Naomi's out for the rest of the week. So I said I'd pick one up. As soon as I get my hands on it, I'm happy to talk to you guys. And I know Monday night is the discussion on the warrant. Public hearing. I guess we'll all know at that point what's going on. And it's public input, so if somebody wants to speak on that, I think that'd be beneficial. I think people just asked a question. I wasn't the one asking the question. So.
The short of it is, it's part of a commission's long-term planning, and this is something
I know, but I can't
that's
tell
done
them that.
periodically when available, and when not available, it's not brought up or discussed, so, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, so, I don't know, you probably, I guess, didn't remember back to the last meeting, but, so the one parcel, was kind of near Toby that connects Wolf Creek, that provided really good access to the Wolf Creek parcel. And so that was the reason for that one, that was, important was,
But I'm just saying,
yeah,
maybe in the future, and maybe if we have time to do it, is I don't know if it's on the warrant or not, to be honest. As soon as I find out, I will, but in the future, it may be beneficial if these are important issues, is to want to just spend 15 minutes with the board and get it on, get your position on the table. And so there's no question between boards at that point. Now, you may not like it, I'm just saying you get your chance, and it's interactive, I'm sure. Because all I'm gonna do is parrot back what you guys tell me tonight, so they ask me another question. I'm gonna say, gee, I gotta go check back again. No, that's kind of ridiculous.
Makes the good sense. How long have we been doing this, Steve?
Too long.
A couple decades, and we've
Wow.
we've been looking to for sensible acquisitions, only when sensible, and some of them are by designation, some of them by purchase, some of them by gift. They've been all three over the years, and you know, town forest management has been integral to the work of the commission for 20 years at least, 20 years plus.
You know what might be smart is, you know, unfortunately, you get used to working with whoever, whether it's a town administrator or a different board, and they change, and like, you know, expectations don't necessarily get sent, or, you know, you learn through this, but, you know, if every year just the board wants us, I mean, we can get these articles out pretty early, I mean, probably far earlier than most other commissions, and just plan on, by default, coming to explain it, because, you know, we've had it pretty good, right? I mean, usually we just hand these articles over and they seem good with it, and that's it, you know?
Well, yeah, I think the boards change, and
Yeah.
sometimes boards change more often than commissions, sometimes commissions change more often than committees than boards do. But,
Yeah.
you know, as Steve mentioned, we get the quarterly updates from Jeremy, and honestly, I don't think of times where things are falling through the cracks. We have some long-term items that have been on our agenda for a long time, and we're working towards them. Things like trails don't happen overnight. They don't happen without expense. They don't happen without public input. You know, just for instance, like in acquiring the Barden parcel up on North Stark Highway, just before the high school there on the left side, it's, you know, building's gone. Took a long time, but demolition on town property takes a while. It's not a snap your fingers thing and it's done. You know, buildings are demolished, planned for trail, there are already existing trails on it, plans for additional trails are in the works, so, you know, check, building's gone, check, trail plan underway, so.
Well, we've got a plan for the trail, I mean, it's just
Yeah, we
get the
do.
logging job done and punch in the connector trail and clean up that, you know, that old faint trail, and good to go.
Yeah, it's not overwhelming. It's
No.
regular business as usual. So, I can't think of anybody we've turned away with thoughts to share or energy to put into these things, and last year we had the continued trail maintenance down on Poor Farm. We've got nice trails through the Eastman, at Town Forest. If you approach off Pine Road, at the end of that, at the circle at the end of it, there's a kiosk there, show you the trails, hop on and, you know, hike around. They're easy to keep all the way down to the landing or further into the woods. You know, some of the trails are on town conservation and forests are maintained by the snowmobile club. Those will be some of the best walking trails in the summer, because the club provides the energy and the funds to keep them open, which is a great partnership, like Steve mentioned earlier. Class 6 roads, very easy to find. So get out there, folks, enjoy the woods, keep hunting, keep fishing, keep enjoying the clean air and the fresh water and the nice landscape. Some of it is town protected, and as you'd expect, most of it's private ownership, but there are a lot of good landowners in town who share it with the public, so that's great.
So do we need to get on the agenda Monday or not?
I'm asking Naomi if the lots are on or not.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks.
We need to- Well, for what purpose?
Well,
To explain the article.
If the
Articles.
article's on there.
So are we too late to put them on and off
I don't
right now?
know. I mean, I don't handle it.
that's the thing, we didn't
I'm just saying
receive confirmation on any of it,
Sure.
and there's no publicly facing list of warrant articles that I know of.
Monday's a public hearing on the warrant.
Right, there's a date that the,
I know, but I'm just saying, Monday is the, by statute, date for public input for the warrant.
For the whole
Everybody
thing.
can talk.
yeah.
I don't know, I'm trying to figure out if it's in there or not. I just texted you. Hopefully she's not on the bed. Well, at the moment, yes. So they're on. If somebody wants to show up and speak on that, I think it'd be beneficial. They are on TV. It's on TV.
It should be around Monday night, I don't know what you got going.
Generally available. Trying to think of what things could be falling through cracks, or how we're overwhelmed, and I don't come up with anything. We've got
You're on,
conservation,
you're on live, I don't know if you're being recorded.
we've got,
Okay, halfway there.
we've got conservation lands, and then we've got town forests. We're a fortunate town to have some public space available to the public for outdoor enthusiasts. And, yeah, we're doing our business, keeping our work ongoing, doing the warrant articles to keep the funds available, developing plans, updating plans, selling Woods products, generating revenue for the town. If we're missing something, I hope folks come and talk to us and let the public know where our deficiencies are specifically, and we'll talk about them. We'll hash on it as appropriate, so. Any other thoughts on sort of the concerns that might be generated by warrant articles, and in general what the commission's doing for the town, and it's the commission's various roles? Anything to add, Mark?
Nope.
Okay, let's move along then.
Yeah.
We do have notice, we were noticed by email of, that there were amended plans for an 18-lot cluster subdivision down on River Road, being planned by, or owned and planned by AMS. This is the one that Art was designing, or working on the design. I expected to see plans in the mailbox for this one, and I don't, so I don't know, don't have anything to look at to consider those again. We looked at them, I guess, back in the fall. At that point, we were told they were preliminary. If somebody has access to that email, which I don't,
Yeah, they're in the email.
we could at least hear for this meeting what the comments that we received by email are.
You want to read the email?
Yeah.
Hello, I've received these plans via email today. This project is on the planning board agenda for January 22nd, continued. They have made a few changes, see below, for an email from the surveyor. And you got, we've attached plans for the AMS subdivision. I believe we addressed the previous comments from Steve Keach, whoever that is, the Ware Planning Board, and
I think
Southern
Keach
New
is a
Hampshire.
town engineer.
I mean,
Steve Keach, is that town engineer?
Okay. Southern New Hampshire Planning Commission, lots 1 through 6 have been reduced so that the rear lot lines now fall short of the 25-foot vegetated wetland setback. In addition, the road has been realigned to intersect River Road at an angle closer to 90 degrees, along with corresponding revisions to the road pile cross-sections. At this point, it appears that no party wishes to pursue or commit to a boundary line adjustment involving the portion of AMS property located in Goffstown. As a result, that land has been added back into the subdivision, combined with the reduction in lots 1 through 6. This results in a substantial increase in designated open space. They didn't send any paper copies. I'm thinking they will get to these, get those to me at the meeting on 22nd.
Oh, it says that, okay.
So,
Paper copies are not submitted at this point, so hence, we have nothing to unfold.
right, so I mean that, we should get till the next meeting because of that, I think. There's really nothing for us to sit here and look at, like you said.
All right, so then our request could be to and through the planning board, we would request that AMS bring their plans for our final review.
Well, and say how they responded to our comments, because that really didn't say how our comments were responded to. Because, you know, a few concerns, right? I mean, who was getting the conservation easement, because we don't want it.
Yeah.
And then the Goffstown piece is staying on the,
Included as open space.
yeah, but not counted, I think, is what they're trying to say, but we need to confirm that.
Right.
But, you know, say if we got stuck with an easement on this, right, I mean, it wouldn't go into the Goffstown piece.
Yeah.
And then remember we had the question about the power lines, like that right away, did that get counted in the open space or not? Because it probably shouldn't, if it's already got a, you know, another easement to Eversource or whoever. So there are like a bunch of issues, who knows if they got addressed or not.
Right. All right, well, I will send an email to the chair, to the planning board and general email, to the land use coordinator, to our part-time town administrator, and request that the planning board send the applicant to us so we can have our questions addressed.
I'd like to request that we make a statement here to the planning board that we are in no position to accept any conservation easements on any open space development now or ever. We don't have, you know, we're not a land trust, can't monitor these things. That's just gotta change.
Yeah.
Everyone pretty much agree with that, or?
We don't have the capacity to monitor it, yeah.
No impact.
Right, and the one nearby that worked well, was done so well, it was accepted by a land trust.
Yeah,
And it was not directed towards the Conservation Commission as a town body to accept and monitor.
I can tell you right now, just from discussions with that land trust, there is no way in heck they're taking any open space easement. It's just like, they're way bigger stuff now. Yeah, that was an era that's bygone, probably not coming back.
So, as a statement, as a concern, you know, our minutes as recorded, remembered, or otherwise produced can reflect that. Do we want to make it stronger with a formal motion and vote?
Yeah, I'd make a motion that the Conservation Commission refuses to accept an open space easement on this open space development or any other open space development.
Do we have a second on Steve's motion?
Have some discussion on it?
If we have a second. If we don't have a second, there's no reason for discussion. So by seconding, one is not committing to a
All right, so I'll
in
second it.
favor vote, but to keep the discussion going. There's a motion made by Steve, seconded by Mark, that the Conservation Commission going forward refuses to accept conservation easement on this or any other open space or cluster open space subdivision.
But see any other I'm concerned about,
Yeah.
because we don't know what comes down the road. There may be something that does work in our favor. I agree that this one here is a no, but to put that in there, then that, you're tying your hands down the road, something comes up that needs to be done.
So Mark, the rationale is, land trusts and stewardship responsibilities have gotten so complicated. If you look at the standard PLC open space deed, it's gone from a couple pages to, you know, just
It's-
very, very long with all the conditions. And so when you take an easement, you commit to monitoring and defending the easement.
Yep,
And what I'm saying is like, we don't have that we don't have that ability is the problem.
you have to pay to have it done.
Well, even enforcing anything, we
Right.
have we don't have any teeth. We can send a letter, say, hey, please get your RV and trash off our property. You can call a conservation officer, I guess, right?
No, they won't enforce that.
Yeah.
No. I can give you a
Code
couple
enforcement
examples.
officer would be the only,
No, you'd have to just get a lawyer.
oh,
You have to have a surveyor, an attorney, and go after it on a civil basis. So I can give you a couple examples that I've seen so far. And that was why I was so hot about those things over at Duck Pond on the backyards. So we've been called for excessive lawn mowing up at, what's the name of that?
Holly Hill.
Holly Hill, because it had a stupid restriction in people's backyards that they can only mow them once a year. Ludicrous, right? I've been called for neighbors cutting trees on their property because there was some restriction there. We found out that stuff got built on the open space down, what's that one down 114? I still don't know whatever happened with
Eleanor,
that.
is it Eleanor Way? And it was the
Yeah.
Baskerville,
Yep. There was like an irrigation system, there were
Yeah.
like kids'
That's
playthings out there. I have no idea what even happened, and that's bad to like, we don't know if we ever got to that point of enforcement, you know? 'Cause it's
Wasn't
like,
there one where somebody put their actual driveway through
yeah,
conservation land?
uh-huh, yeah,
and
Well, it's
then
on the
cut
marker,
back in?
yeah.
yeah.
And Meadows End took care of the report for us, and most of that was taken care of, except the driveway and the irrigation.
Yeah,
And the irrigation too, right?
Yeah. Most everything else was taken care of.
Right, so a driveway, right? I mean, that's gotta go.
Yeah.
You can't, you know, the conservation easement, you, like, if me and you were neighbors and you accidentally did that, you know, you could negotiate something, right? But I mean, it's a lot more difficult to do that with an easement.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the kind of stuff that we're ill-prepared to deal with. And then we got involved with,
We also
was this
had-
sand and salt thing up there at, Forest Lake?
Chase Road, Chase.
Yeah, didn't they have that like right on the, it was
It
on the
was on
easement?
the easement, they had to take it down,
Yeah,
the salt and sand storage.
yeah. And then there was somebody else that had something on it. It's
Yeah,
like
they're
never ending.
Parking the plow truck there.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the stuff that we're not really, you know, so it's,
I think part of it is, there's a belief out there that we always want it. Like when a subdivision comes in, Conservation Commission always wants a cluster open space subdivision. And we want, you know, we want to be advocating for town ownership of the open space. And it's, the assumption is made, I don't think it's a good assumption, there are times when, standard subdivision, and even for conservation concerns, standard subdivision and private ownership is superior.
we've got this other problem though too, you know, like, so the idea behind like how clusters were sold back in the day is, you know, you've got a farm, you've got
association
prime
benefit.
agricultural soils,
on
you're
those.
building, you know, you're building houses over in this one area, and then maybe, you know, a farmer takes care of those, you know, to keep
Fields,
that
yeah.
active.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, big manageable blocks, right? And so, that's cool, but I'm even saying if that even came up, you know, unless we got a land trust, we're just not, we don't have the ability, we don't have like staff, we don't have enforcement to deal with it. And that's a real bad problem, because you've got this commitment, when you're acting in that capacity to enforce a land restriction. And it's just, and the other thing is too, like when, so PLC takes, or Forest Society takes an easement, they have like an endowment that goes with that right up front, and it goes into their, they have like a fund for, you know, monitoring and
Yeah.
and lawsuits and stuff like that, you know, so when it gets dumped on us, we have none of that. And it's come out of Hyde a few times, like we had that, the other thing that happened in Holly Hill, they got away with not setting all the boundaries. Yeah, we end up paying for it, which is ridiculous, you know, I still don't, you know, as much as we beat the table on, Cortland, still don't have a clue if all the boundaries are set.
Supposed to be, the engineer signed off on it.
Yeah, I hope they check the boundaries.
Right, other than, we were told it's on the list.
Yeah,
Well, they accepted the road and they're putting his bond back. That was a condition of that.
yeah, I know, I just don't, you know, who knows? So I think like what I'm saying is really this is like a, hey, planning board, we need to go back and change that ordinance and get rid of this altogether.
No, I agree with you, but I just, if you put it, there may be something down the road that your hands are gonna be tied.
The absolutes that I could see, in theory, somebody could make a beautiful, you know, open space subdivision, put the structures where the structures go well in one portion of the property, and leave a nice uniform
Habitat area.
lot, open space lot that abuts a single owner and contains the entirety of the open space. It's not cut into pieces between lots and things like that. And we could look at that and say, wow, that's well done. And if it couldn't convince a land trust, then it might make sense for the town, given that it decreases all those exposure points to a manageable amount.
So there's two ways these things have gone, Mark, too, and I'm not advocating for the other way, but when we own the you know, like a really, say, a good one comes up like that, if they gave it to us in fee, you know, great, right?
Yeah,
But that's, what I'm saying is, we shouldn't be taking easements. So, I mean, I guess we can reword this and just suggest that, the Conservation Commission doesn't have the wherewithal to accept an easement and monitor it at this point, and we suggest that in the future, we don't do this anymore at all.
correct.
Well, yeah, as of this plan, so I have 2 points. That was with Mark, with putting it in further, because I think there is, even if it's a 1% chance that just some great opportunity arises where you order one landowner and then on the other side of it is conservation land or something
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah.
So that, and then I was looking through the zoning ordinance, and I don't know that we have the authority to say we're not gonna accept. We can recommend or suggest.
Well, who
I don't know that
forces
we
that
have the
on
authority
us?
to say we do not
Yeah,
accept.
but who forces that on us?
It's in the planning, in the zoning ordinance here.
Does it say Conservation Commission, Mike, or does it say?
That's what I'm trying to listen and
Yeah.
read through the zoning ordinance at the same time. We went through this last time.
No, I agree with you,
think it
Steve.
comes down to if nobody else accepts it.
I just don't want the hands
we
tied.
Get it.
That's the yeah, well, the
But
town
that's
gets
in
it, yeah.
In the town, yes, and that's what the ordinance states.
The town or the Conservation
That's
Commission?
what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
Yeah,
I haven't found the exact article or chapter. Is it Article 27,
you know, like, well,
cluster housing?
should be.
It exists in the future. Is that the one this year? What's existing?
Is the cluster article
No.
changing?
So that's the current.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking about the current
Yeah.
existing zoning.
Why don't you maybe your comments that you don't want to accept it because of X, Y, Z reasons?
We haven't had one of these in ages either. Just hasn't,
Well, this AMS would be the, what was it, Cortland was the last one, right?
It is Article 27.
yeah. All right, it's probably under the requirements.
That was a long time ago.
Because
The
I
design
think,
Phase was a long time
Yeah.
ago in Cortland.
yeah, I wonder.
The build phase.
That was like the last one, and that's a nightmare.
But the zoning says you don't have the authority or not given to you. Until you change the zoning, you can't send a letter, so it's kind of moot.
No, it says held by the town, a qualified conservation organization, town fee ownership, subject to restriction.
And I think we discussed what that comma meant, town, and then after that was describing what the town is, or is that a separate entity? What point are you at, 27?
It's on page 30, yeah, 11,
What?
yeah.
Starting to sound like a Second Amendment.
But if not, I mean, we ought to, you know, we ought to just put a note in there that, hey, next year, let's change that article.
Yep,
Get rid of
I
that.
think you were saying that last time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, how we could modify that if we needed to is say the town, I mean, not the town, get rid of the town and just say, either, you know, a qualified conservation organization. I mean, town fee with restrictions might be okay, and then,
That's the sentence right there.
but then, you know, you could just put in like a homeowner association, so we won't have to deal with it, you know?
Yeah, so we could recommend that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, early on, back in, whatever, Fox Hollow was set up that way. Where the homeowners, the open space was for the homeowners association enjoyment and management. So that one didn't mark all the boxes of, increasing public access to open space lands. So the next go-around, change the language and emphasize town resident access. And we worked on that model for a couple decades. And I think we're overdue for some adjustments.
All right, I want to modify my motion based on the discussion. Strike the whole thing and then say, the Conservation Commission recommends finding a qualified easement holder other than the town of Ware, and suggests, as previously discussed, modifying zoning article 27.3.11 to eliminate the town's responsibility to manage and monitor easements resulting from cluster developments.
I'll second that.
So said, Steve's motion, Mark's second. Any further comment on the motion on the table? There be a none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Not here, all in favor.
Good discussion. Now we just got to make sure that we follow through with the planning board and get some change here.
But that would be for 27, I would take it.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah,
late for,
It's complicated change in
Yeah.
zoning. We should have done it this year, because we've already discussed this like a couple times.
I think they were busy with the wetlands changes.
Yeah, that was a big bite, so. I look forward to working that with Craig and/or whomever in the future for planning board. All right. So, enough on AMS's subdivision, unless anybody else has something more. And let's consider the second planning board item, which is a site plan review, which is a request for commercial activity essentially. And we, along with many others, get opportunity to have a look. This is regarding Windswept Venue LLC, 92 Helen Dearborn Road. We've got a little bit of a write-up. This is regarding agritourism. We got a little bit from the RSA's. Got a butter list. Applicant owner is Jonathan Doust of the same address, so this is owner-operated request. Existing property includes a residence, barn, and 2 smaller outbuildings. Current use is agriculture, 6 to 10,000 bales of hay harvested annually, as well as residence, the applicant's residence. Primary lot is map 411-310, surrounded by other lots, 411, 309, 316, 316.1, 316.2, 317.1, and 411-315 totaling 90 acres. The summation is seeking site plan review and approval for the operation of a seasonal barn venue business as an accessory use to ongoing agricultural uses of the property. This request falls under the state of New Hampshire's agritourism statutes. You wanna look at that one, Mike? Are you
No, I heard you.
okay? And
Didn't sound like you're
comments
doing any-
are sought from fire department, police department, highway, public works, conservation commission, and assessing. Hearing to be heard January 22nd.
It didn't sound like they were doing any land work. They're just inviting people out for weddings or whatever to the barn.
What's a wedding venue?
Barn venue. Oh, what's a wedding venue? Is that what he said?
Yeah,
If you wanted to have your wedding in a farm setting?
that's what it sounds like, yeah.
Big lately.
Might be some septic or maybe little step out houses.
Yeah, he's got
Look
a
like-
temporary on here.
Yeah, the, trailer
Oh, the portable.
contained
yeah.
portable unit with several, stalls available.
So, you know, it looks like, you know, for whatever you wanna have there. You know, anniversaries, wedding, receptions. Hundred and 20 guests, you know, so this is one thing I don't get. I wish John were here. It's right there, is Mr. Dell's intent to hire a traffic detail to turn around any non-event traffic on Holland Dearborn Road before the site, which is only 200 yards before the end of a dead-end road. I thought that was a class 6 beyond his house. And like, if that's a public road, like how would he have any right to turn anybody around?
Yeah, I thought Helen
Select
Dearborn
board
was.
problem.
Helen Dearborn.
That's a select board problem. They govern the roads.
Yeah. Do we have anything down beyond that? We don't.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they got like a restroom trailer.
I see the back end of that, no, it's attached. The butter list, is that separate or is that?
Oh,
See at the bottom of the pile there, can I see the butter list?
Is that on there?
Yeah.
appendix 2. Yeah, I don't see any impacts that would concern us.
No. Just curious, what's down next to that?
next to wetlands.
Seems like it's well away from the water course that's on property. No New Hampshire wetland inventory wetlands. And the tent is proposed for the front yard in front of the existing barn. Parking is right close to the road. On a top of a fairly flat knoll. What's that? It's 4650. Contours from LiDAR. Got a bedrock water supply well. In front of the residence, a dug well used for irrigation only behind the residence. You wanna take a gander?
So Jack, is that road named after one of your, kin? Yeah?
Distant.
Who?
Distant.
Your sister?
Distant.
Distant.
Oh, distant.
As in Fortune.
Wow.
Well, we could do a no comment neutral. We could do a pro comment behind the concept.
I don't have a comment.
I don't hear any cons in our discussion to this point.
Don't see any.
You all comfortable with the no comment?
I think so. Struggling with this foolish app. It does connect through.
We could say no comment, but would be glad if an applicant would walk us through these things, or is that asking too much?
It'd be nice. I don't think this one's
Or-
particularly an issue, but.
Yeah, so I stick with a no comment, but if somebody wants a pro comment, come on and talk to us.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, there's nothing really relevant around there. As
All right, enough of that one. So this needs to go back to Melissa. So I'll put that in your folder, Andy. Moving on through the agenda. You okay with that, Steve?
Go ahead.
All right, we have no mail from Environmental Services. Under land management, we almost always have something to discuss, and we did receive an email, was it? Yeah, an email reporting some unsanctioned, my words, firewood harvesting at Poor Farm. Thoughts on that one, Steve?
You just covered it, I think. I attached a picture, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so, someone is out there cutting firewood,
Is that a picture you took?
no,
Okay.
no, somebody sent that in, I don't know if they wanna be anonymous or
No,
not.
that's fine, I just didn't know if you were out there using it online.
No,
If you were
no.
by the trails or not, the newly established trail.
No,
Okay.
I mean, my suggestion would just, be to probably get maybe, I mean, you can get those kind of inexpensive signs made up that are, I don't know what the backing is, you know, it's kind of like plastic cardboard kind of looking stuff, you know what I mean? So-
Lawn signs that you see out.
Yeah, like fast signs down there in
Do we have to say
Manchester.
something like no private harvesting? I mean,
Well, just no fire, no unauthorized firewood, just town aware land, no unauthorized firewood cutting. That way we got a few of them if this crops up somewhere else. And just, I mean, we could get Jeremy to get them, or we could just get them, I don't know, I don't think we've got like our headache is we don't have a credit card, we can just call up and say, hey, but Jeremy can, I mean, obviously that comes at a premium to get him to do it, but. Does Public Works have a sign shop, Jack, or do they get them made?
Everything that they made.
Anyhow, I would just suggest we procure signs.
I didn't see the pictures, it just shows if some wood's been cut. They got a picture of somebody,
No, there's no,
wood's
just a
been
word.
cut.
what it looked like was down,
Fresh.
something that was down before snow was cut after there was some snow on it. Couldn't really tell
Yeah, I don't
much,
know.
and, I don't know whether some places it's fair game on firewood taking on town forest land. I mean, there are a lot of different states that people might move around from and have different understandings of what's allowed and what's not. I think we've said, but for, load of non-impact, talk to us if you wanna camp, talk to us if you wanna have a, what do we have? We had this like,
Mountain men,
mountain men gathering. I mean, we have folks talk to us about, we've had somebody talk to us about tapping trees. We had somebody talk to us about bees, all sorts of different things where you might extract products from the forest. And
I'm guessing these are dead standing, just looking at that stump right there.
well, it'd be the most attractive as firewood.
Yeah, I mean, if you
you're-
needed it right now.
If
that's
you
not
needed
really-
it now, yeah.
I think the state forest, they charge you $25 for a tree if you wanna go in and take a tree.
Interesting.
I mean, different places have permits for dead and down, but is that something we're gonna manage?
No.
Okay.
Unless they come to us asking first.
I'm saying setting up a permit system. would
Oh,
be-
yeah, no.
Yeah, right.
All right, so don't waltz out into our woods and cut down trees and take them away.
Would you wanna
Talk to
get signs or no?
Honestly, I mean, if we were to, would they be temporary signs for spots we notice somebody
Yes.
has done something and not a permanent sign all over on our properties?
Yes.
Then I'm in favor of it.
That's why the inexpensive
Yeah.
temporary type sign.
As forerunners of town forest, as managers of town forest, I think that would be an appropriate activity for our contractor to do for us. I don't have the ability or the desire to wanna do that as a volunteer. I think if we asked for Jeremy and somebody from his outfit to do it, it'd be done, know it'd be done, and our concerns would be addressed.
Okay, so we'll, make a motion, contact, Meadows Sound, ask them to put up, temporary type signs with the, authorized from the hourly agreement out of conservation, say not to exceed, $200 for materials and, whatever their time is in a couple hours.
Second that.
So a couple of hours at $75 an hour, we're talking committing up to $350 from the conservation fund.
Right, so
Okay.
ideally, this is not an emergency, so if they're working in town and they can swing by there, so you'd hope, we'll just kind of convey that, you probably got an hour in order and stuff, and then,
Yeah.
hopefully an hour down and put the sign up.
Yep.
Just while they're doing something else.
All right, so that was a motion, Steve's motion, Mark seconded. I'd modify just a little bit to suggest that Steve be point person on this in contacting Meadows Inn Consulting Company for the temporary signage as stipulated. Any other discussion? There being none, all in favor? Aye.
Alright.
All in favor? I didn't get it on the list. But is there an update regarding trying to make more permanently safe the, we'll call it the field well at Eastman?
No, I had mentioned to you in an email that the person's got some personal stuff going on at the moment, they're a high priority, so he said he will take a look at it though.
Okay. So, check on that one from last month. Good, some progress, but, we wanna stay with it and, make sure we keep the hazard at bay. Anybody have anything else land management wise? Nope. moving down, Steve, thank you for drafting up the annual report. I got that out maybe on Sunday. Think we should be all set on that one.
What was that changed to like Carlos Eastman or something, or?
Carl's, yes, without the H,
Yeah,
instead of Charles, yes, sorry. I was surprised spell check didn't pick that one up for me.
Probably your real name or something.
Yeah, like C-A-R-L-E-S, Carlos. So, hopefully, our town scribe on the report picked up your comments that were forwarded. Got the deliberative coming before next time we meet, which is, second Wednesday in February. Deliberative is on Saturday, January 31st. We'll have a couple articles. Hopefully we can have a couple people there to potentially speak to the articles when everybody's good and tired and ready to go home, as usual. I think we need to all keep our eyes open to the warrant. Sometimes there are surprises there, and we deal with them relative to the work of the Conservation Commission, and we deal with those as best we can. But the opportunity to address them in public session is going to be that deliberative on the 31st. And the last thing I have is we received in the mail a letter from PLC saying we PLC looked at the Breed Brook Town Forest easement, did the annual monitoring with that one, with the Eastman Conservation Area, with the Chevy Hill Town Forest. And the issues identified were at Chevy, there were tree stands without appropriate tagging per New Hampshire Fish and Game Law. There was some report of motor vehicle use at Chevy Hill. Otherwise, no other problems were observed during the 2025 modeling visits of those 3 properties.
Nothing on Eastman?
Nothing mentioned on Eastman this time.
That's good. I've never been to Breed Brook. Where's that one at?
That's a good question. Is that one that, I think that might be one that's predates my time on the commission, and I think it might be south of 149 and north of Farron. Does that ring a bell, Steve?
It's not ringing a bell, but yeah, I think so. I think you're right, actually.
I think it there's some MCC land south of it, between it and Farron, but it's in that general, not MCC, so there's some Meadows End timber or French land down that area too.
Look, almost 100 acres. I'll have to go check it out.
Does my recollection ring true? The general location?
It was conserved in 2004 as part of the subdivision plan of Holly Hill Farm.
Oh, this is Holly Hill.
That.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, it's Holly Hill.
Yeah, it's Holly Hill.
Okay.
That's, okay, good, wow. That one is one where Steve earlier mentioned we did have a butter consternation a couple different times. So, my bad, that was very early on when I started here. Nice one where despite the farm field getting snapped up and the bobolinks being roasted, at least the developer worked closely with PLC on trying to leave something. Remember the bobolink up there, or were you not on that walk? I think Pat Myers pointed them out in a number of places. I
We're
don't even
down
know
at
what.
Chuck Bolton has them.
Maybe.
He does, definitely. Yeah, down this place.
Those are incredible. Fly down to South America, man.
Yeah, they're cool.
We had whippoorwills for a few years in our neighborhood.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right, so nothing needing activity, I mean, from them. And then, second letter,
Well, so hold on, so
yeah.
when they see non-compliant tree stands, I mean, they could just email that to Fish and Game. Remember I did already, was that the one I already emailed them that they asked me to let them know?
We heard about something on, the same sort of deal on Chevy.
Was that there, or, yeah?
I think maybe.
But there's no need to go through us for something that's, like, if they see a.
They're not
Fish
trying to
and
go
Game
through
vote.
us, they just mentioned it as a observation.
No, but I mean, usually they are, if it's a, I don't know if that's a violation of the easement or not. I guess a permanent one maybe would, I don't know. But they could go direct too, you know, or something like that, if they wanted to.
What I see written here doesn't tell me whether they did or didn't. They
Yeah,
could,
right.
and that would, I think, be the point of correction, if there is any.
Right. I don't know what they expect on that one, cause I mean, they're kinda reporting to us, but if you don't have like coordinates and all that stuff.
No, no. You know, the property was also reported to have some motor vehicle use, which is a everywhere sort of deal, but nothing specific. We've had some in the past that have been very specific to, at this location, it's a majorly pain in the neck and we need to do something about it. We haven't seen one of those in a while, but in the past there were some observed.
It'd be cool to email them back and say, hey, maybe it would be good to have like a, you know, instead of just dropping these in the mail to us, why don't you come to a meeting, you know, if you have
It's been a
coordinates,
long
just
time.
talk about any concerns. We did that once they came, right?
Way back.
Yeah, just to keep that contact on, you know, working relationship. If we're not around, like me and Andy or whatever, and you guys are around, just remember, like, if we do any work on the properties that have an easement, we're supposed to, there are some timelines that we have to abide by for notification.
For instance,
So
if
just try
we were to
remember.
do anything with even putting a cap on that
Well, we
well,
probably ought to
that
tell 'em,
that
yeah.
easement, we should tell them about that.
Yeah, tell them we're gonna do it, right, yeah. Did we tell them we were gonna mow the fields? Probably not.
I think we did, I think that came up.
Did we?
I think Jeremy said he was going to.
Good. Because we should. If we didn't, we were supposed to.
All right, enough with PLC with PSNH. We've got monitoring report for the executory interest for both Brown Farm and the Purrington Farm. And both of them were no issues observed. No concerns that they know of.
The Purrington one actually connects on to that Breed Brook one.
Yep.
All right, so those are some good FYIs. That's. That's all I've got. Anybody have anything else?
Yeah, just quickly, we received an email from a Friar Me. Is there any hiking in the Eastman Conservation Area? Thank you.
I did
any-
respond.
Did anybody respond to?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did. Here's what I told him. I must not have hit CC. So there's a nice network of woods roads between Pine Hill Road, parking area, and the access road on 77.
Thanks, Steve. Good mention, Mike, thank you. Anything, Mark?
I'm good.
Hey, Jack, anything that we should tune ourselves to other than what we discussed earlier about warrant articles and the Monday public hearings?
If town forester's coming up for,
Coming up for what?
it's on the warrant. Town forester, we're raising $25,000. That's on there, that I saw yesterday. They got something on board. I don't know about any zoning issues.
Very good. So I think, back to that, I think I can coordinate with you, Steve, and one or the both of us, or one then the other, can try to be available to speak to those two articles. If anybody else wants to, you're always welcome to watch the selectmen at work. But there might be a time when we have nobody else available, we might ask you to, but not this time. All right, we're done. We got a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn at 8:35. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All in favor.
Just takes a minute to do this.
You all set, Mike? Do you have to do anything before the
Yeah.